Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Light Within YouTube channel. Today we are going to read chapter number 32 of Sufi Tales. So let's read the chapter first, then we will discuss it. So I will pull out this so this is the chapter. The title is Wild Goat. A wild goat had her horns twisted, then projected straight ahead like long chisels. The horns grew so long that they were a sign of arrogance to any other goat coming across this wild goat. Since these horns had grown larger and sharper at a slow speed, the wild goat herself was not aware of her horns being so ugly and arrogant looking. Whenever this wild goat met another fellow goat, the horns hit the face of fellow goat, making her feel really bad. As a result, all of her fellow goats escaped from the company of this wild goat. A friend goat advised her, "Your unnecessary projected sharp horns have separated you from your fellow goats. You have to get rid of these horns at any cost." When the wild goat felt that her relations with her fellow goats had been destroyed and she was now almost alone, she realized that there was no option left but to get rid of these horns. One day, she went into the middle of the forest and stood in front of Dobri tree. This tree had two trunks growing straight up with a small gap between them. She entangled her horns in between these two trunks and gave a strong, sudden jerk of her head. She heard a strong cracking sound. The horns broke apart on one side and the goat fell on the other side. The jerk was so strong that even the trunk of the berry tree fell down on the ground. The goat became unconscious for some time, then stood up. She felt herself very comfortable without these straight projected sharp horns. She could now meet her fellow goats without any distance or trouble. It was not very long time after getting rid of these horns that she revived the company of her previous friends as well as making new friends. Horns, hints. Horn projection, ego, the unevenly straight grown ahead personality. The Dobri tree, duplicity, two-facedness. Getting rid of horns to liberate oneself from the clutches of the lower ego. Let's look at the graphic. So this is the graphic, this is that tree, and she is entangling her horns there so that she can get rid of these horns. So in the other chapter telling us that our egocentric and arrogance centric behavior, how it ruins our lives personally and at a community level as well, because these egoness that I am the one standing out in front of or among all the crowds, that is something which is arrogant. Obviously that we are all same human beings. We possess the same body. And there is another thing which I observed some time back, that that our bodies are same, and there is a great wisdom behind our bodies are same, and there is a great wisdom on the diversity as well, because if our bodies were not the same, how could we have one doctor for all the humans? Now you see, a doctor who is trained in one country can get a job in another country. He is getting education for all the human beings in one university, then he is treating others, because we have similar physical appearances and similar blood groups and similar diseases. So that is a very very well, I don't know how to say that. This is a very unique point, that we are all the same as per our physical appearances. But another thing, that at mental level, everyone is different. And that is another aspect that makes it more important and beautiful and diverse, that we are same as well as we are diverse. We are same at the body level, and even if one is having good intellect, a good wisdom, and even then he is humble, he is not arrogant, but once at any time, if one is finding out through self reflection or through others, maybe friendly people, that this arrogance is, you have this arrogance. If some of my friend, they tell me, or not a friend, maybe a stranger, if they tell me that you have this problem in yourself, you have a wrong attitude or wrong approach or something like that, they are telling me like that, I should consider it seriously. If I am genuine, then I should consider it seriously, and I will say that if this attitude falls in the category of arrogance, then I should let it go. That straight horns of that goat which we just read about the story, if these straight horns are fascinating, they are this goat, she likes these horns, she likes the appearances, but that very horns are the reason of distancing of her friends from her community. So this distancing is not helping. So there's a dichotomy here. She thinks she is beautiful, but that beauty is taking her away from her community. So a good friend told her to get rid of these horns, so she did, and after that she fell again in the community. So these hints are very important. I will just read it again, just for my own clarity. Horns projecting. Ego, the unevenly straight grown personality. Unevenly straight grown. That the ego, this personality is grown straight. So that is also not good. So it is talking about us. Then getting rid of the horns to liberate oneself from the clutches of the lower ego. So here's an important point, that the ego is higher and lower as well. The lower ego is attached to the lower things, and higher ego is not the ego itself, just for the terminology we are using it. But yeah, so from the we need to get rid of lower ego, and we should see that what things are pulling us back or not letting us progress in life. So these things are very important in life. So anyways, I will end this video here and I will record another one after this. Let's see how it goes, because this chapter is self-explanatory. Actually, most of these chapters of this book are self-explanatory. So I'm just recording my own opinion, so that in future when I will read these chapters again and I will compare myself, then I will watch this video to see how much I have changed or I have progressed. So until the next video, it is goodbye from me. I pray that all of us travel from the lower ego to the higher ego and beyond, because in the higher realm there is no ego as well. So this is just egolessness. So we need to get rid of this ego. So with this, I will see you in the next video. Have a good day, have a good life, and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and blessings be upon all of you.